All right, now here we are. Let's go. We're good now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Dukect Lounge. Finally, we got the good audio thing working, and let's see. Hopefully, this thing will continue on working because I do not want to have my well Skype to turn into something terrible. I don't want the Audacity or anything else to sound. I want good, clean audio, ladies and gentlemen. I want the nice, clean and focused, not just for the people here. I want to make sure that it is live, clear. You can hear me perfectly for not just the live show, but also for the show afterwards. A nice editing and basically use the Audacity to clean up the audio, as it were, to make it nice, fluffy, and simple and clean, as it were. So anyway, with that being said, everything seems to be working all right. The backup seems to be going well, so here we are. Okay, now let's go to it. Let's get into the main show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. First things first. Let's see. Well, I could be talking about the Justice League movie, but I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it next week with family. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be a fun movie. I think I'm feeling really positive, guys. I'm feeling positive about it. So, that's what I believe. A little positivity. P-O-P, positive. Well, hold it down. I am, again, I'm unafraid people actually like Batman, Superman, unironically, and the unedited cut. I like both of them. But anyway, we're talking a little bit about NXT. Yes, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to take a look at the NXT takeover. But this takeover is different because we're having War Games. I talked about earlier about War Games. I talked earlier about it. I talked earlier about War Games. But this seems to be there was a bit of shifting of the card here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks everything seems to be okay. But we are looking at some new, interesting cards. So first off, we have Cassius Ohno. Oh no. Taking on Lars Sullivan. His name, seriously, Lars Sullivan? This is what wrestling names are. Bland and Blander. Two first names. Seriously, come on, man. You look something interesting. Do something other than Lars. I mean, come on. Lars Sullivan? I think the match will be decent. I like Lars. I've seen a bit of him. I think he's interesting. I see Lars picking up the victory. I think the match will be somewhat different. It might be a little bit hard hitting, but I think Lars will pick up the victory and will continue his mini domination in NXT until probably facing the NXT champion. But we'll get to that when we get to that. The next match is Aleister Black, the blandest guy out to use hard metal music and such. The next try-hard golf guy, that emo guy, which I can't stand, taking on the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark. This guy didn't make Tough Enough. That huge tournament, that huge thing that WWE presents as a reality show, thinking that, okay, we're going to finally get our next guy up. Guess what? Everyone who wins that tournament, wins that thing, don't make it past, don't make the air. They don't make it. Majority of them don't. Who gets make it, they make it. The people who do make it are the ones who run the runner-ups and the people who are lost, I think, who are 9th or 10th place. Patrick Clark was 9th place or something, and then he just did this whole Prince gimmick. This is not the first time we've seen him with this Prince gimmick, but now he seems moves with more confidence, and he's actually doing this whole type of thing. And he's young too. I don't see how old the Velveteen Dream is. I think he's around his early 20s. I gotta take a look. Come on, Bing. Thank you. Let's see. Patrick Clark. And see, he's 22 years old, and he's from DC. Nice. So, hey, he's really, really young. And yeah, I was right. He was eliminated in the 5th episode of the recent Tough Enough series of 2015, and he was 9th. And he was reason why he was let go. It was due to a perceived lack of humility. Ouch. And here we are. By the way, Josh Reddy, the Yeti, guess what? He got released. Yep. He was released this month. So yeah. Tough Enough, people. Really, really helps people. Tough Enough, man. Just I'm looking for anyone through Tough Enough right now who's won. Who actually was successful. The only person I see were Maven and Nydia. I think Nydia had some good stuff. And Jackie Gaia. The only thing I remember about Jackie Gaia is that Jackie Gaia match. Then Tough Enough 3 was John Hennigan, John Morrison. I think, honestly, John Morrison was probably the most successful person ever win Tough Enough. And sadly, Matt Capelli, who couldn't wrestle because, he had cancer. And majority, but yeah, he passed it. And now he's moving forward. And let's see, yeah, and he's doing hopefully pretty these, but then yeah, he has some other stuff going on, but hopefully he'll pass through it, hopefully. Yeah, but yeah. So Matt Capelli, he's not doing it. I mean, he had to retire because of cancer. John Morrison, that's the only one successful. And you had then you have season 4, Daniel Puder, who didn't do much. Season 5, well, let's see. Silent Rage, Anthony Levine, and yeah, he was released from WWE after this one. And now, this. I have to say that Tough Enough has not really produced any really successful competitors. Like I said, the only one who's actually was successful, ladies and gentlemen, is basically John Morrison. That's the only successful person who's actually gone through Tough Enough. So that. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, it's weird. But honestly, I want Velveteen Dream winning. But then again, WE, for all their craziness, likes Aleister Black or, well, Tommy End or whatever he wants to call himself. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I haven't really cared for him. He just does nothing but kicks, and I just hopefully this match will be. I want Velvet Dream to win because not he's from DC, but he actually is interesting and more an interesting character than Alistair, the bland and boring, trying to be edgy, but not trying so hard to be edgy. It's like he just needs a fedora at this point. He's basically like every edge tries so hard to be an edgelord, but in the end, just all he needs is a couple of it's like just tip the fedora to him or something. Seriously, I just don't. I just don't. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, next up, ladies and gentlemen, the next match is the vacant NXT Women's Champion. Ember Moon should be champion. Which I don't know why. because NXT just really wants Asuka to do it, because that's not going to be an anchor on her weight, having her wearing the undefeated thing, because the longer you build these things up, eventually it has to end. And what happens when you have a longer undefeated streak? When it ends, guess what happens? When it ends, you know how bigger it is. It's hard to recover from. That Goldberg probably was at least somewhat. That's the problem. Once you have that undefeated streak, it's hard to continue on to the wrestler. You know, it's hard when you get that first loss. You know, to continue on to actually build up, because once you lose, it actually brings interesting dynamics to the character and says how they grow up. How they grow, how they this that yada. You delay it long enough, people just they're rooting for them to fail, and there's not going to be much of redemption or anything else like that. So and even still, the worst thing about having undefeated streaks is just boredom. But that's boredom. That's why I couldn't watch the NXT Women's Division as Asuka was winning. I was like, I didn't care about how good the matches were, how the promos were. It was just boredom. Asuka was gonna win because of the precious streak, which means nothing. It means nothing. At the end of the day, it means nothing, and you have to. At the end of the day, you need to build up your wrestlers, not drag them down. And sadly, that's why I don't look at the NXT Women's Championship as it could have been a great way to put Ember Moon up there, but instead it just does nothing. So I see Ember Moon winning. It should, but I'd probably go to Kairi Sane because she's the new hotness, and screw Ember Moon, I guess. But yeah, Ember Moon should win, but it won't. Then we get to our first of many main events, as we have the NXT Heavyweight Championship, Drew McIntyre taking on the regenerated, the newly formed, man who was all part, but now he's all business, Andre Almas. Yes, Andre Almas, with the nice lady in tow, the person who has helped him become a much more of a someone who is, once upon a time was a Nicola Somber, but now he is now only known as Andre Cien Almas, and he now has this new manager, Zelina Vega, and she is helping him become a brand new someone to actually help him become the champion that he's meant to be. Will it happen? Will he be that next big? This will key his moment. Will he, Andre Almas, finally make his destiny and become the new NXT champion, or will Drew McIntyre retain his belt? Who knows? But you know what? He's on this fire right now. So I'm saying Drew McIntyre hold the belt, but I wouldn't be surprised if Andre Almas actually picks up the victory here, and Drew McIntyre goes up to Raw or SmackDown during the Royal Rumble or something like that. I think that would be much more of a, because they need the stars, and I think Drew McIntyre is young enough and hungry enough. And have Andre Almas hold that title for a while. Then you have someone like Johnny Gargano finally overcome him to win the championship. And after that, then, his former partner for DIY, the Sicilian psychopath. Let's see. It was... My brain just goes into weird places. I should... let's see. Let's see. Him fighting, and let's see. It was Ciampa. Yes, it was Tommaso Ciampa, the man who was formerly the TV champion of Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor television champion, who should have been the Ring of Honor world champion, but that's a story for another time. But you know what? He will return, and that is going to happen. He will return, and when he does, he will. His return is coming March 2018. So here's what I say, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, NXT Championship, NXT TakeOver, New Orleans. Come on. It's right there, people. It's going to be great if they just put this right. So I say Almas takes on, Almas holds the title, wins the belt, have Johnny Gargano fight wins, and actually picks up the big victory. Then you have Tommaso Ciampa, and then you build him up. That would be a great way to build him up and make NXT much more of a champ. That would be more interesting for me. But that's just my thing. But I see Andre Almas actually becoming the NXT champion. Yes, I'm putting it all on the line, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not striding the fence. And Lord knows I will not stride and put myself on the fence. I will put myself out there because I am that. I know, you know, and everyone knows that I will do what it takes to put myself in that to make sure. When I put my foot down, I put my foot down. No striding the fence. Andre Almas wins the NXT Championship. That's what I see. No wrong, so be it. And finally, we get to our main event, which is going to be so fun. The War Games match. Triple threat, 3-man teams. 2 men, 3 teams. 2 rings, 1 cage. As NXT champion Sanity, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killing Drain take on the Undisputed Era as Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and, well, let's see. The voice is cleared up. Adam Cole, baby! I know someone out there is probably marking up because I said that. So I did it for you people because, hey, I love y'all. And I don't like my voice. I don't like my voice that much. So I did that for you, the people. So yeah, and then for last but not least, we have the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, teaming up with Roderick Strong. And let me tell you, this is going to be a fun and destructive match. I believe, because honestly, War Games is amazing, and I love War Games. I already talked about it before when this thing came above, and I love it. I can't wait to see it. This is gonna be a great match. It's hard to screw up a War Games match. Heck, even TNA's lockdowns matches are fun and exciting. I like them, so screw you. I don't care. Everyone says they're terrible. I like them, so I think this is going to be a great War Games match. You have great talent here. You got people who know what they're doing. So you know what? I'm thinking who's going to win? I'll say the cheesy, everybody wins. Michael, the W Universe wins. But no, I'm going to say it. The winners of this match will be Sanity. Yes, I'm picking Sanity to pick this match and pick up the victory. Because part of me says the Undisputed Era, they just started out and probably going to challenge for the NXT Championship, which is, I don't want that. I think there's more money in Johnny Gargano and that. I don't want Adam Cole winning the NXT title. It's like Bargy, like he's like Dolph Ziggler, but Adam Cole is Dolph Ziggler with brown hair. I don't know why people care about him. And I like Kyle O'Reilly. He's okay, and Bobby Fish is fine, but Adam Cole just screams mediocrity to me. You know what I mean? Just screams mediocrity. But that's just my opinion. And I don't think I don't care for Roderick Strong, but I do love me some Authors of Pain. I love those guys. And hopefully when they do show up on Raw or SmackDown, they are going to wreck house. And I want them to wreck I want them to destroy everyone. I probably want them to see to take on the Usos, but I need some. Who is right there as big, big tag teams would probably be the Bar. Yeah, I think the Bar versus Arthur's Pain would be really fun, a knockout, drag out match. Then again, I think Cesaro's teeth will probably be gone, so sacrifices must be made. Anyway, this is going to be a fun match. I have Sanity picking up the unlikely victory, and I'm going against the grain because that's what I do. So, that said, that is the preview. Those are my match picks. Let's see how they turn out. Anyway, I think this is going to be a fun NXT event. And heck, this one might be actually get me back into watching NXT on Wednesdays because, Lucha Underground will be back till 2018. And that being said, let us take a look at other things. Let's take a look at what EA is doing. And, after that, after we take a look at EA and everything else, I will be, after this, the show will be over. But you know what? Before everything else, we have a bit of music to play. Yes, some music. So let's take a listen. Let's do some music. Let's have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have some fun. Let's see what music to really get this thing here. About some Super Mario RPG Windows to the Stars. We're going to talk about a Yoster's Sunset. Welcome to Yoster Isler by Amphibious. Go download the album. It's on overseasremix.com. It's great. Download it. It's awesome. You're listening here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for taking part on this great, great show. I take advantage and everything else. So, that being said, thank you so much for listening. We'll be right back right after this. We are back live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com. Remember, if you're not listening live, how dare you can find this on YouTube.com/DukecT, also VidMe/DukecT, and also on FreakinAwesomeNetwork.com, the fan, and on ManicExpression.com. And if you want to call into the live show, remember the phone number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID connecting me to Dukect is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Now let's get this thing here. EA. Oh my goodness. Battlefront 2. What a complete mess. I mean, what in the world happened to you? And it wasn't be that hard. It's not supposed to be hard to make one of the best. Basically, they took over a series that was one of the most, I would say, just one of the most fun and engaging multiplayer games I've ever played in history. Star Wars Battlefront 2, the first one, was amazing. I mean, all the stuff here. To 2005, about all these years ago, was this was amazing. It was a sequel to Star Wars Battlefront. It was basically a simple thing about doing these type of stuff. It was amazing. It was simple, and yet you could do all these types of third person shoot first and third person, taking out. You basically using, you know, on the original for being you multiple factions, the Galactic Republic versus the Confederate Independent Systems, the Rebel Alliance, got an Empire. You have like infantry, heavy weapons, pilot, sniper, and you have a non-playable hero character like Count Dooku, Mace Windu, Luke Skywalker, Vader. Really cool stuff. Eventually, you can earn these type of things. You know. It was just a fun game. And then the sequel came out, which was, wow, amazing. You had like Galactic Conquest. You have players controlling the fleet and protecting planets, all these type of stuff. You had Knights Arbac story. You had, I mean, this was, to me, the was probably the best thing. You had ship-to-ship combat. You know, you could actually, you know, go into like others like huge capital ships that start blowing people. I'm like in space, and I was, oh my gosh, this was amazing. It was so much fun, and I loved it. You had Conquer. Everything in this game was so amazing. So many features, more heroes you can play as, and do these type of stuff. You had like just all these other things, and then you have this one. It was the Star Wars Battlefront in 2015 was a complete crapshoot. I did not like it at all. They just basically just said there was nothing there. There was, honestly, it was basically DLC. It was all DLC and everything else, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's great!" I mean, and people were like, "No content at all." There was no content. A 2005 game had more content to these newer ones, and it pissed me off about how this became this. And then you have this Star Wars Battlefront. They seem that they learned their lesson. They seem okay. We have the customized class system, content based on the Force Awakens and new movies, faster, more vehicles, locations, heroes and villains that can play based on the Star Wars movies. You got Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Lando, Calrissian, Yoda. You have Rey, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine. Everyone in the Star Wars game you can play at launch, and it has a full campaign mode, and you had, gosh, and everything else seems to be going great, but then, oh my goodness, then the microtransactions hit, and wow, just amazing. The amount of BS, ladies and gentlemen. This is just it was the retail. Everyone went quick because you had to basically grind for like 3 to 4 months just to get for you play for free. You had to grind out for so much. You grind for like 2 or 3 weeks just to say get Luke Skywalker. No, you had to pay money just to get like these loot boxes, get all these type of stuff just for him. Just to get them, and a lot of people were pissed off. People were angry. People were pissed off. But guess what? The people here at EA, and then according to now Ars Technica, I looked in the link here. Link will be in the description, by the way, because I do that. It says right here, just hours before Star Wars Battlefront 2, the second one. This is an end. The lack of just any names or anything else about Star Wars Battlefront, the downfall of the Empire, or anything else. No, just Star Wars Battlefront 2, because it wasn't a better game that came out over 10 years ago. The lack of imagination, the march of mediocrity, and Star Wars is just going to continue doing this over and over again. But anyway, it says just out for Star Wars Battlefront 2, the next one. I've added that in. Retail launch Friday. Electronic Arts and developer DICE announced that they are turning off all in-game purchases and all progression will be earned through gameplay. Like the old ways. And the surprise announcement promises the ability to purchase in-game crystals used to purchase random loot boxes filled with in-game items will return at a later date, but only after we made changes to the game. AKA, where everyone else forgets about it, we're gonna bring back microtransactions again because it's so far so late and everything else, so we're just gonna put that in. We'll sneak it back in when y'all not watching, fans, which is okay. But yeah. It says, quote, DICE General Manager Oscar Gibson wrote, as we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear to many of you feel that there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages. No duh. And we heard that this is an overselling a otherwise great game. This was never our intention. Sorry, we didn't get this right. Meanwhile, let's see. Let's see. What was the Metacritic response to this? Because I think it was where it is. Where is that Star Wars Metacritic? Let's see. We have 80% so far of the 74% Metascore, and the user score. Ooh boy. Oh. 0.8 user score. And this is for the PlayStation 4. Okay, let's look at the Xbox One. Maybe it's different. Let me just see if it's different over at the Xbox One. Let's see. Survey says it was Battlefront 2, Day 1 edition. Okay. And we can't find anything of that thing yet. What else? Looks like 0.8 user score. That is wow. And the mixed stuff too, the Metascore right now is 74. That is, I don't know what else you call it but a failure. This is a failure of a game. This is a failure of just wow. Destiny 2 has a higher score. Call of Duty World War II has a higher score than this. That is sad. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, and everything else, and this is what happens. This is all because of this stuff. Right? I'm still, look at this. 74 and 0.8. This is just disappointing. But of course it will sell because EA has basically, all this other money and everything. But they're taking it out. And, yeah, it is. But you know what? Ladies and gentlemen? This is what we asked. This is what it is. This is what's going to continue. EA might look like the good guys now. And hopefully they learn something. My hope is that they do learn something. But here's the thing. This is what we have asked for. We wanted more Star Wars. This is what we're going to have. More empty, more lackluster gameplay, more less equals more stuff, prettier graphics, but in the end, nothing. No depth, no soul, nothing. Like the new Star Wars movies. Basically having no depth, no soul, nothing at them. And I'm hopeful I'm wrong with the Star Wars The Last Jedi. Force Awakens was a disappointment, but here I'm hopeful. I want to have hope again. I want to have some hope again to this. Please. I want hope again. I want to have Star Wars to be good. And not just good, but great. Or maybe it's impossible. Because it's just, just becoming a yearly franchise till it's just just grinding to dust. Oh, well. Here's hoping they've learned their lesson. Here's hoping that EA finally learned their lesson. If not, hey, I'm not buying Battlefront anytime soon. I'm not going to be, I'm just going to be relaxing and, doing my stuff and playing on the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and everything else, so I'll be just fine. So here's hoping they learned their lesson. Even though they got smacked down, but hoping they will get back to it. Here's hoping they've learned. Hopefully they have. Anyway, this is the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for staying around and listening to my mad ramblings. Anyway, if you want to follow the show, remember you can follow the show on youtube.com/DukecT, also on vidme/DukecT, and also you can find the show on iTunes.com and on Freaking Awesome Network and FreakingAwesomeNetwork.com and on Man Expression as well. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. It's Dukect here. Peace, love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.